If you're looking for a reason to start your indoor garden, maybe this will help. Whenever we start our indoor garden setup, it's usually close to winter season. Maybe you're in a similar situation where it's either too cold or too hot to garden outdoors, or you simply don't have the backyard space to grow. If that's the case, indoor gardening is a great option, and this is how we install our Spider Farmer tent and hydroponic equipment to grow our own food throughout the winter season. To start, we installed an 8x8 grow tent in our basement, and the kit included a ventilation system and SF600 grow lights. With this essential equipment, we're able to control the environment inside the tent and allow the plants to grow big and healthy. Having a good airflow will not only prevent moisture buildup, but also allow carbon dioxide to enter the tent, which is an essential component of photosynthesis. We also wanted to maximize the vertical space, so we decided to install 2 Spider Farmer plant stands, and these perfectly fit the SF600 grow lights. There are 3 shelves on each unit, but we're only going to use 4 because some of the plants that we're choosing will take up room as they grow. We're mainly growing our vegetables in hydroponic systems, which is a method to grow plants using water and liquid nutrients. And the first method that we're going with is Kratky Hydroponics. It's basically filling a container with enough water and nutrients to last a single growth cycle. This is ideal for fast-growing vegetables like lettuce, radish, or bok choy. The second method that we're using is called Deep Water Cycle, which is essentially the same as the Kratky Hydroponics. The only addition is the use of air stone and air pump, which creates oxygen to keep the roots healthy. This is a great system if you're planning to grow vegetables that require longer growth period like tomatoes and peppers. Grow lights are the most essential part of growing food indoors. It's important to have these if you want to have a successful indoor garden. They are designed to substitute natural sunlight, stimulating photosynthesis. It all starts from seeds, and we grow our seedlings in coco coir, which is made from coconut fiber. We prefer to use this because it makes it easier to clean the roots before transplanting. For the Kratky hydroponic system, we're using 2-gallon containers. 2-gallon was more than enough to grow lettuce, radish, and bok choy. And for every 2-gallon, we're applying 1 tablespoonful of organic liquid nutrients. The way this system works is when the water level drops, it creates a pocket of oxygen between the roots and the top level of the water. Then the water level will continue to drop, and before it's even empty, I would have already made my harvest. So normally with this system, you just leave it alone and watch your plant grow. There's no need to top off with water unless you're doing a cut and come again harvest, in which case you just add a small amount of water. For the deep water hydroponic system, it's a much bigger container, so I filled it up with 8 gallons of water. With this system, I do need to top off with liquid nutrients and water once a month. My measurement for liquid nutrients is the same. For every 2-gallon, it's 1 tablespoon of organic liquid nutrients. You can choose to continuously run the air pump for 24 hours straight. For us, we run them intermittently for 4 hours using a timer and about an hour break. The medium that I'm using to hold the plant is called Leca Clay Pebbles, which is a lightweight expanded clay aggregate. It is a reusable material. You can clean it over and over again, and they last for quite a long time. When handling seedlings for transplant, make sure to hold them by the leaves and not by the stem. The stems can easily break and you can lose seedlings this way. There's also a way to just plant directly instead of going through the transplanting step. One medium that you can use is called rock wool. It's a single-use material, but you can plant your seeds directly in it and then place it inside the net pot, making sure that it's touching water. When you're growing in a hydroponic system, that's one thing you want to keep in mind, making sure that the roots are always touching the water. We do our best to keep the water clean inside our hydroponic system, and since we're using coco coir, we need to rinse out the roots and remove any debris. Adjusting the light is important for your seedlings to grow properly. To start, we have our grow lights between 20 to 30 inch above seedlings. If you have a grow light that has high heat output, you want to increase the distance to prevent your seedlings from getting burned. And if you notice that your seedlings are getting too tall and leggy, you want to lower your light. After several weeks have passed, we already have our first harvest. Lettuce grows really fast. It's a good idea to keep reseeding every 2 to 3 weeks. This way you'll have a continuous supply. At a much faster rate, the radish grew really quickly, and they formed nicely too. There is a slight difficulty to grow radish in a hydroponic system. Most of the time they don't even form bulbs, but there is one trick that I use. As the seedlings grow, you want to pull them up just a little bit every 2 days. This way the roots will start to form just above the medium. Similar to lettuce, if you want to have a continuous supply of radish, you want to keep reseeding. This way, by the time you harvest, you have a seedling ready for replacement. As mentioned earlier, with Kratky's system, you don't really need to top off with water. But if you are harvesting a few leaves at a time and allowing the plant to regrow again, at this stage they take up a lot of water, so you will need to top off. When you do add more liquid to the container, avoid filling it all the way to the top. Doing so will likely lead to root rot, and to avoid this, you want to fill it only halfway. When it comes to growing any fruiting vegetables indoors, you will need to hand pollinate. Some are much easier to pollinate, like tomatoes, eggplants, and peppers. All these have a single flower that contain both male and female parts, so a little movement is more than enough to distribute the pollen into the right place. For zucchini and cucumber, there are two different types of flowers, a male flower and a female flower. A female will have a fruit just behind the flower, and a male flower will have none. To hand pollinate these, you want to take the male flower, which has all the pollens right at the center. Gently dab this part right around the stigma of the female flower. Similar process can be made to cucumbers or any other type of squash. And to guarantee success of pollination, I make sure to use several male flowers. Growing your own food indoors is very much possible. You can even do it on a smaller scale just using a grow light and a shelving unit. So if this is something that you've always wanted to do, I hope this video encourages you to give it a try.